Well, I feel like this one's gonna be a bit hard. Mostly because get ready for 3 days of non-stop talking about the Dune film and miniseries. And keep in mind, there's 2 miniseries. So overall, that's, I think, 8 hours, I gotta say. Things I do for you folks. The things I do for you folks, you know? But, let's get right into and talk about the first film in this series of videos that we'll be doing, Dune, from 1984 by David Lynch. And one little distinct thing about this film is that David Lynch at times said that he wanted to disown the film. So at times in certain versions of the film, you'll find copies where it's directed by a man named Alan Smithee. Alan Smithee is the pseudonym for directors who have decided to say, yeah, I don't like my movie anymore. Like, yeah, I'm disowning that shit. Yeah, so that's what happens. So, also giving a bit of detail, there was a bit of details in the fact that originally the film adaptation for Dune was actually going to be a lot longer, but some say there was a bit of studio interference. Heck, there's also some reports that say that David Lynch had never read any of the Dune books, so who's to say? The film stars Kyle MacLachlan in his film debut as young nobleman Paul Atreides, and includes an ensemble of extreme, well, when I say ensemble, I mean a packed cast. Basically a lot of like American and European actors. It was filmed in New Mexico and included a soundtrack by rock band Toto, as well as by Brian Eno. So basically, the film was set in distant future. The film chronicles the conflict between two rival noble families as they battle for control of the extremely harsh desert planet Arrakis, also known as Dune. The planet is the only source of basically the spice, which also allows pre-science and is vital to space travel, making it the most essential, valuable commodity in the universe. That was a cat. Basically, Paul is gonna be inheriting the throne from his father. And also, there's another house called the House of Harkonnen. Basically, at certain points, Paul is seen as like basically a Messianic, well, not really. Basically seen as like a godlike figure because of there's like, say, a bunch of prophecies that he's gonna do great things and all that stuff. I gotta say, one of the actors that I guess I'd give a fully detailed cast list, because I know I'm not gonna get much of I'm gonna get some backlash at that if I don't. So the cast includes Francesca Ennis as Lady Jessica, Leonardo Sinel as the Baron's Doctor, Brad Dourif as Pilfer de Barons, the Harkonian, Jose Ferrer as Pedish, the Emperor Sidom, Linda Hunt as the Shadow Mapes, Freddie Jones as Starov Haywood, Richard Jordan as Duncan Idaho. Carl McLaughlin as Paul Atreides. Virginia Mason as Princess Yulin. Sylvan Magnon as Reverend Mother Ramula. Everett McGill as Stilgar, and Kenneth Micklin as Baron von Vladimir as the Baron Vladimir Harkonnen, and Jack Nance as Novid, captain of the Baron's guards. Eugen Prostov as Duke Leto Atreides, Paul Smith as the Beast Raven, and Patrick Stewart as Gurney. So, having only seen this one time, and it was for a previous channel, I'm gonna say I'm kind of glad that I watched the the extended version of this. And I think it was, because, you know, there's like a lot of material that probably like this, but probably wasn't in the original film. And although I've heard a lot of people say that this film is not accurate to the source material, I will say at times I thought, yeah, I can see that. And I'm gonna say, probably something that's probably gonna be kind of controversial. I'm gonna say I'm okay with it, and the fact that I'm willing to let. If I had seen this in theaters, I probably would have said, well, you know, I'm okay with David Lynch doing whatever he wants to do, you know. However, in all honesty, there is actually a lot of material from the book that actually appears, whether it's the little drone thing or what, I have no, that basically goes through Paul's bedroom to, you know, try to kill him, the hunter-killer thing. Well, there are also some things that aren't included, like, say, Lady Jessica going through the garden, and Vincent, like, say, nah, we ain't gonna we're not gonna be paying people to be getting water. No. So yeah, there's some things that aren't included. Well, there's probably a lot of things that aren't included. I'm gonna be honest. I have the book, but I'll be honest. But I'll also say this: I haven't actually finished the book, but I will say that I do find the film entertaining, and I kind of like the fact that at times the film has uses of, say, what's the word? Oh, inner monologues from the characters and all that. I find that kind of cool, and honestly. I mean, it's kind of an interesting idea in the fact that, you know, instead of, like, you know, just having the characters talk and then all that. So it's kind of cool, I guess. But, I'm sorry. I mean, I kind of had fun with this movie. I mean, it's not great, but is it as awful as they say it is? I mean, it's probably not the most faithful thing I've ever seen, but probably at the time in 1984, with the effects that it has, they probably did a pretty good job. And honestly, I mean, there's some sequences from this movie that I actually like. I like the beginning of the film, where, basically trying to think what's the name of that thing, the Great Inquisitor or something like that, the guy who says, like, say, I want Paul to die. Yeah, basically the giant slug brain in a jar. I kind of feel like when he shows up, he's almost like coming in on like a choo-choo train.
All aboard! Next stop, the Magic Kingdom. Do 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 do.
So that's kind of funny. Um, and I still think the Baron Harkonnen. I feel like in this film he's like truly kind of a disgusting individual, whether it's from his makeup, which I think is pretty cool. There is some perhaps bit of connection that the film that David Lynch was trying to give a bit of an AIDS probably use connection to his character. But who's to say? I mean, then again, in the books, it's not really said that, oh, this guy, he's a warty faced, ugly man. No, he's just a very fat individual who can fly in the air like a balloon. And that's I think it's kind of funny how his death sequences, he just gets, basically, he gets stabbed, and then he basically gets the stuff that's in his nipples pulled out of him, and he just goes, ah! Ah! And he gets flying away like a balloon in the air, like almost like he's not Augustus Gloop, the aunt from Harry Potter. So I mean, I would say that the Harkonnen is kind of Vladimir Harkonnen is kind of an intimidating villain. However, like he's sort of like letting his own forces do his dirty work for him because he's a malevolent figure and father say no, I want you guys to do the work for me and all that. So I guess that's pretty cool to have a character like that. One thing that a lot of people mention for this film is that the music is actually really good. Same thing goes with its cinematography, its set design, and all that. It's actually really cool. Especially the House of Harkonnen. It has a lot of uses of darker colors, murky colors, whereas in the House of Atreides, it's a lot cleaner, has a bit of, say, stony colors, or use of green at times. So there's a bit of contrast between the two families. I gotta say also that this film is probably the introduction to me for the singer and also actor Sting. So yeah, there's that. But I guess say one of the highlights for this film for me, and as the film goes on for me, in my opinion, is the moment where Paul rides on the back of one of the worms and does all that. So I think that's pretty cool. And honestly, there's actually a lot of moments for this film that are really pretty cool, in honesty. However, I'm not going to say this film is bad. It's not awful. There's actually the film is actually very well made, so there's that. But is it a pretty good adaptation of the source material? No, and probably like I said in that original video, like that original Dune video I probably did, the film could have been a bit longer, and that it would have given you more details about the world instead of just explaining things by use of Star Wars text scroll from the floating princess. Yeah, but what do you guys think? Don't forget to look out for our next two reviews, which is on Dune, the Dune miniseries from the Sci-Fi Channel, and then finally Dune. Oh no, wait, Frank Herbert's Children of Dune. Be on the lookout for that, and I'll see you next time.